I'm Jasmin Sehra, a freelance illustrator and designer. Just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has come to join us today. I think it's going to be really exciting and really cool, and we're going to produce some really cool work. So just a little intro to me. I specialize in hand lettering, illustration and design, and I've worked on a variety of different projects from product design to typography to mural work, just everything basically. And the pieces behind me in my jazzy background are my pieces that I've created over this year, like 2 years. And I just wanted to have it there just to give you guys some inspiration and kind of just an insight to what we're going to be creating today. So I think I'm going to get stuck in and I'm going to go through the materials that we have with us today for today's workshop. So beside me, I have my tracing paper and I've also got some plain paper. I've got my Posca markers. So I've chosen my favorite colors here. So hopefully you guys have done the same. I've got my rubber and my pencil as well. And I've got scissors with me. And the only reason why I've got scissors here is because if you've decided to use a picture from a magazine, so you can cut it out, or again, you can tear your picture as well if you don't have a pair of scissors. So firstly, this workshop is all about experimentation. I'm going to show you different ways to create a type piece, different type styles. And the styles that I've chosen to show you my sketch here, it's fairly simple. So I feel everyone can achieve this, or at least get some inspiration for something that you might want to continue after the workshop. So we'll be looking at different highlight techniques. I don't know if you can see that. So different highlight techniques, different shadowing techniques, and sort of little embellishments and pattern work as well around our type pieces. So just wanted to say that I've chosen a quote here, live in peace, and I was going to supply you guys with a list of quotes, but I wanted it to be really unique and personal to you guys, because my illustration pieces behind me are what I like to call a visual journal. I write in my journal a lot, but these are kind of, I guess, oh my God, how do you say it? They're kind of derived from what I write in my journal, and I've created it into an art piece. So I kind of wanted you guys to just, check into how you're feeling today. Any statements, any quotes, any words that kind of express how you're feeling today. I want you guys to use that word or quote and put it into your artwork and use these techniques to make it come to life. So yeah, so let's get started. I'll just put this to the side. Right, so if you guys have printed out the photo pack, that's awesome. Or if you've got your own imagery as well, that's cool as well. I've chosen this cloud image from the pack provided. Honestly, so nature is like one of my biggest inspirations, and I thought this image to me just kind of spoke to me today. It's been a crazy few weeks for me in terms of work and life. So I thought this is amazing. It's a very calming image. And again, with the typography as well, and the quote that I've chosen, I feel like it's very fitting for how I feel today. So to begin with, I'm going to use a piece of tracing paper. I'm just going to pop it on top. So you can use, if you want to sort of sketch your ideas, you can use your paper, which is why we've included it in our list of materials. So you can use the paper to just brainstorm ideas, any ideas you have, any quotes, any words, jot that down, or you can just go straight in into doing this piece here. or you can even create what I'm creating as well. So then you can just use that for later on if you decide to you know, if you can't really think of anything at the moment. Right, so usually when I start a typo piece, I'll sketch out my design here. I will look at the quote and I will decide on kind of like hierarchies of the words. So live in peace. Live in peace are obviously the words that have more sort of like prominence. So I will be, that's why I've decided for the lettering to be quite bold compared to the in, which you'll see me create in a bit. So I've just done a really rough line here. And I'm just going to use that to help me draw out the word live. So this style of type is very bold, really simple, and so easy to draw. So the reason why I'm using tracing paper as well is because it's really easy to transfer a drawing onto the image. If you don't want to draw straight away onto the image, you can do it on the tracing paper. So any mistakes, it's all good because you can erase it using your rubber, or you can start again on another piece of tracing paper. Okay, so that's really bold, really simple, and I think it looks pretty cool. So the next word I'm going to draw here is the piece. So I'll draw that in a little bit, but I just wanted to again using a really sort of bold type style. So you can get inspiration for type styles online. I love to use Pinterest. It's a great place to get some inspiration for different type styles and different type techniques similar to this. So you can do it as complex or as simple as you like and as you prefer. I just wanted to say that there is no right or wrong. You can, honestly, there's no right or wrong at all. I feel like practice obviously makes perfect, but just experiment and just let yourself go and just, you know, create how you want to create. I always say that art is therapy. So this should be a workshop that gives you, as I'm writing here, some peace and, you know, just want to make it a bit fun. So I hope you guys will be having fun in creating your pieces here today. And then I'll just put it in as well. So these type styles are some of my favorite type styles. Really easy to draw as well. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So that just kind of gives you an idea of how the final piece will look. Now, if you want to trace it onto our image, which we'll be doing, I'm just going to grab a plain piece of paper here now, just so it doesn't transfer onto the image. I'm going to go over my line work. And you want to press quite hard on the pencil, just so when it comes to transferring, it'll be really easy.
Just while you're doing your tracing, Jasmine, we've got a hello to do to Verity and everyone at Parkview Clinic in Birmingham on Ashfield Ward. Thanks for joining us today. They've said that they're trying to keep up, but you are quite speedy today, Jasmine.
Oh no, oh my god, okay. I will be a bit more slower.
Another big hello to everyone joining us from Beckland Centre Ward 1 in Leeds. We love to do shout outs and say hello, and it's so nice to know who's joining us for our workshop. So please do let us know in the Q&A where you're joining us from today. Also, if anyone's got a question for Jasmine, please do drop that into the Q&A box as well, and we will field those to her throughout today's workshop.
Okay, so I have gone over my tracing. And once you've done that, you can decide where you would love the placement on your piece. Now, again, you don't have to trace. You can draw straight onto your imagery if you like. But I'm just going to trace over my lettering now. I'm just going to make sure that it's transferring. So you can see, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's a very faint line here that we've got, which is going to help us draw our final type piece. You also don't have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to draw letters. You can even draw, you know, whatever you like a flower or, yeah, just anything that kind of comes to mind. And you can still use these techniques of highlighting and shadowing as well.
Jasmine, could you tell us about some of the projects you've done where you've kind of applied this type design to different surfaces, for example, murals, bottles? I know you've recently done a project with like a cosmetics brand.
Yeah, so typography is obviously huge in my work. I've used it for customization pieces for brands like Puma, so customizing diaries. I've customized jackets for Levi's. I have yeah, recently worked with Estee Lauder, and that was a printed bottle, so it wasn't hand drawn. I mean, it was hand drawn and then applied onto the bottle, which was really cool. And yeah, I've kind of, I don't know, is that sometimes I forget what I've done. Like I've done so many different projects, but I think those are probably the main kind of ones where I've applied typography. And yeah, mural work as well. So one of the murals that I've created was actually in Shoreditch on Shrewsbury. This was a couple of years ago actually, where I incorporated type. And I just love type because it's such a statement thing, and there's so many different styles, so many different techniques and ways in which you can use typography to express not only yourself but just, you know, just bold messages. And I just feel like it's super fun. Like there's so much you can do with type, as I've explained. So yeah, hope that does that kind of make sense.
Yeah, that was amazing. Thanks so much, Jasmin. You've really given us as an insight into the kind of projects that you work on, which is great.
Awesome. Right, so I've traced my lettering. You can see it's really sort of faint trace there, and that's going to help us when we use our paint pens. So the colors that I've chosen here some of my favorite colors: pink, blue, orange, white, and I'd also be using black to outline our lettering. So I'm going to go in with the pink, and we're going to color in the word live. Sometimes I find that you might want to have two coats of the paint pen just to make it a bit more opaque. And again, you don't have to be perfect with this. Remember just to have fun, and yeah.
So while Jasmin's getting on with colouring in the letters, we've got some more hellos to do. Big hello to everyone joining us at Queen Mary's Lavender Ward. Thanks for joining us today. Hi to everyone at Oakwood Ward Signet Hospital. That's from Olivia. Big hello to everyone on that ward too. And a huge hello to Martin and all of our wonderful friends at Avocet Ward in Ipswich Hospital. Thank you guys for joining us every week and for always submitting your beautiful artworks to our gallery. We really appreciate it.
Okay, there we go. So I'm going to show you the first shadowing technique that I love to use in my lettering pieces, and it's a very simple block shadow. So I'm going to go straight in, but you can actually, and maybe I should have done this, but you can use your pencil to lightly sketch out the shadowing. So you want to imagine that the light is coming in this direction. So the shadow will be on the left side of your letters. I'm just going to do a rough sketch just to show you where the shadow will be and where we will be coloring in. Okay, there we go. So it's a very light sketch, and I'm using my black Posca marker, and I'm just going to follow the lines. Also, this is a great way to neaten up any rough edges. So no worries if you haven't painted or colored in your lettering as neat as you want, because this will just neaten that up for you.
So Jasmine, colour is obviously such a huge element of your work, and it's something that you've kind of lightly touched on with us explaining, but how have you chosen the specific colours that you've kind of got in your pens today?
So I absolutely love pink, and you can probably see I have a lot of pink in the pieces behind me. So pink is like my staple color. So is blue, but just the piece that I have here today, I feel like pink, blue, orange, and the white complemented the photograph really well. So yeah, I just wanted to have colors that were bright and bold against this background because it is quite a not, I wouldn't say plain, but it's a mellow kind of background. And I thought, yeah, we want to make an impact with our lettering, so as bright as I could get. And yeah, that's kind of the reasoning why I've chosen the colors that I have. But you want to choose colors that you love, so I think that's the main thing, but also colors that complement um your photograph. So you can see already how amazing that looks. It creates a really bold, impactful visual. Okay, and there we go. So the next word that I'm going to go in and color with is in. I've decided to paint that in white. I've left the colors for the main words. So I'll be painting in piece in blue. So I find colors like white sometimes need two coats. I might need to go over this, sorry, once more. But I'll also be using black for this as well. I'm going to show you a different shading technique with this one. So using my black Posca, I'm just going to go draw around the lettering. Like so. Now we're going to use a very similar technique to the block shadowing here, but we're going to use color instead of coloring in it all black. So again, the light will be coming from that direction, from the right. So our shadowing will be on the left. Literally just following the line of our letter. I'm just making sure that I don't go over the piece here, but that's going to create a nice overlap effect when we do draw piece in. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my blue. The great thing about these markers as well is that you can draw on top of any marks that you might not want to be there. So you can literally hide away any mistakes that you might have made, or just make things a bit more neater as well. Okay, there we go. Oh, missed a spot here. I'm using my black now just to neaten up any edges. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to draw a piece. and going in with my orange.
Just to let everyone know that we've just reached over halfway mark of our workshop today. So if you would like to ask Jasmin a question, we would love to hear them. Please do so in the Q&A box below. Jasmin, we've had a question come through from Isla, and Isla asks, do you have any tips on creating your own type style?
Yeah, so a lot of the type that I've used in my own artwork are sort of like, so the inspiration is kind of like a combination of existing type styles, and I've just kind of added my own sort of twist to it. I think my tip would be, yeah, look at existing type styles and just, you know, change it up and just experiment with different letter forms, sketch on top. So maybe, and what I found was really helpful is sketching on top of, let's say, something as simple as like a Helvetica, and then like just adding a little bit of a little bit of something like on the end. So if you look at this is quite a simple typeface, but just adding something like this, it just changes it up a bit. And even the in here, that could be a really simple curved kind of style, but I've made it like a bubble. So yeah, so just experiment, look at existing type styles, and kind of just collate everything that you really love, and yeah, just kind of take it from there. I hope that helps. I think the main thing is just go for it, and you'll find your style. And like, if you, sorry, yeah, you'll find your style if you just go for it. Like, just don't think about it too much.
Oh, we've just got a nice comment come through, Jasmin, and it says, Kathy from Becklin says you are great. So that'll be one of the members of staff facilitating.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I finished coloring in the word piece, and I mentioned before that you can actually go over the lettering a couple of times just to make it a bit more opaque. But I think once it's dry, it might be better. But I'm going to go straight in with my black, and this is a really simple type technique. I'm going to be showing you just how easy it is to create a black border. Literally going over our pencil lines again. I feel like black. Now don't have to use black. You can use a different color if you wanted to. You can use blue, you can use pink, you can even use white, but obviously depending on your photograph, if you're using a darker image, you can use white, so make it stand out a bit more. Obviously I'm using black here just because the image behind is lighter, so we want it to stand out as much as possible. Okay, that's super easy. Now, again, I'm going to add some shadow to this, but I'm going to show you a different technique of shadowing. So using a black Posca marker, I'm going to just add a few lines here, which is going to replicate shadowing like that. And again, the light source will be coming from the right hand side, and you can also pencil it in if that helps, but I'm just going to go straight in. So again, very similar to what we've done here, but instead of the block, we're using the lines. And I feel that kind of adds some movement to this piece as well.
This is already looking so incredible, Jasmine. It's ready to go into a picture frame.
Woo. Yeah, almost. We're going to add some final details now. So I absolutely love embellishing my typography pieces. I think it really makes it come to life. So the first thing that we're going to do is just one more type technique I'm going to show you is highlighting. So we've been looking at shadows here. Now, obviously, if the light is coming from the right-hand side, we're also going to get some lovely highlights as well on our lettering. And it honestly just changes the whole thing and just gives it a bit of dimension. So with this one, the light source will be coming from the right, so the highlight will be on the right-hand side here. And all I'm using is a white Posca, and I'm creating these sort of bubble light lines onto my lettering. And already I feel like that has given it so much depth and has changed up the whole piece. How cool does that look? That looks awesome. So I'm going to do the similar technique as well on the piece, but this time I've used really sort of straight lines here, but on the piece I'm going to go in with the curve. So when you come to the bottom of the curve there, just almost like a teardrop shape. Again, on the E. Okay, cool. Right, awesome. So that is it with the lettering. Now I'm going to show you how I embellish my pieces. So I absolutely love sparkles. This is the exciting part and the fun bit. So I think I'm going to go in with my blue pen. I'm going to go in and draw some sparkles. So sparkles are like a diamond shape. So just drawing a few curved lines here. Now what I also like to do is add a few dashes just to make it look like a sparkle. And again, I'm going to add a couple more here. So I'm going to do a mix of blue, black, and pink embellishments. Just to tie the whole piece together. I'm going with my pink. So with my pink pen, I'm going to create, I wouldn't like little round circles, little dots, just to almost like a shine of the sparkles. So different types of dots and circles. Some are going to be hollow, like this one here, and some are going to be filled in, like this one on the right. And you can make them as big or as small as you would like. And again, just a few dots dotted around. It's really random, so have fun with that. And then I'm going to go in with my black. Oh, different color. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I think I'm going to try stars for this. And some more dots as well. I think I'm going to do one more sparkle, which I'm going to color in black. And again on the other side. Now nothing has to be symmetrical. It can just be as random as you want. Just remember to have fun.
Jasmine, we've had a really lovely comment come through from Nadine, who says, I think your artwork is great. I found it very inspirational.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. So the last thing that I'm going to do is create some embellishment around the word live. And something really simple, which I absolutely love, are some lines. And I feel like this really brings out, it just gives the lettering a bit of a pop, I feel.
Just to let everyone know, we've got about 5 minutes left of the workshop today. And I think Jasmine's doing incredibly well for time. I think we're going to end bang on 2:45 today.
So I've kind of done two different styles of line work here. So I've got more sort of straighter lines. And this one here is kind of like a triangle. And it kind of almost gives an impression of like a pow, if that makes sense. So you can literally be so experimental with all of this, and you can achieve so many different effects using all these different type styles. And that's it, that's the final piece. I think it's ready, like you said, Jen, to be framed.
Absolutely. I think it looks absolutely incredible. And we're so excited to see what everyone else has done today's workshop. We've had another question come through from Isla, Jasmine. And Isla asks, what is the best kind of paper to work on? So a bit more technical question there.
It depends what you're doing. Is it with the Posca? So with Poscas, I would say a matte paper. I feel works really well. I think anything with a shine, it's kind of difficult for the acrylic paint pen to set onto it. But yeah, matte paper works great. Yeah. And I think it works great for like different materials. So paint, you want to obviously use a thicker paper, or if you're using color pencils, again, matte's cool. I think matte's the way to go, to be honest.
Amazing. And is it always pens that you like to work with, Jasmine, or is it kind of different mediums? Do you ever work with paint, pencil?
So I used to work with paint quite a lot actually, and then I moved on to pen work. So a lot of my sketchbook work is using pens and pencils, but the work behind me was done digitally. So I've kind of used the techniques that I might use on paper, but I've used applications on my iPad like Procreate or Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and using those techniques that I'd use on paper digitally to create the pieces that I have behind me.
Amazing. They're just so vibrant and incredible. And they really kind of remind me of like me personally when I was growing up as a kid in the 90s, and like bubblegum packaging and confectionery packaging,
That's
sweets.
that's the inspiration. Like all my inspiration comes from vintage packaging, posters, the graphics that I used to see in my parents' t-shirts in the 80s and 90s, all of that. And I'm so glad that you can see that as well, because that's a major inspiration of mine. So yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. And I think as well, because you have in your work, you use a lot of motifs such as obviously palm trees are just kind of totally synonymous with your work, like tropical flowers as well. Do you think those
Yeah.
are similar inspiration?
So the whole reason why so firstly, I just love palm trees just because I feel like they just remind me of like happiness and like happy times, sunny days, and they're just such a positive thing. I feel like I look at a palm tree and I just love palm trees so much. But the reason why I got into palm trees so much is again the inspirations from my parents' photographs. A lot of their photographs on holiday were just amazing, and they were surrounded by palm trees and tropical flowers, and it's just something that I came to love really. Nature is a massive inspiration in my work, so yeah, I feel like palm trees are just. I've got a palm tree necklace. That's how much I love palm trees. um, but they're just a major love of mine, and if I can include that in my artwork, I will, just because I feel like they're so peaceful and just amazing plants.
Oh, amazing. Thanks so much, Jasmine. And just one quick last question from me. Are there any kind of exciting projects that you've got kind of coming up that you're looking forward to working on? Do you have any kind of dream projects that you'd like to do?
I do have a few projects coming up, but nothing that I can speak about at the moment. But they are to do with sort of like packaging design. But yeah, really excited to have those released. Um, Projects that I would love to get involved in. Oh my gosh, I'd love to do more mural work. Um, I would love to, and this is on my list of things to do, but have sort of these kind of tight pieces, but on clothing, and socks, because I absolutely love socks, pattern socks in particular. But yeah, just kind of like just loads of stuff really. Again, kind of ranging from a whole load of different disciplines and sort of sectors. Um, yeah.
Fantastic. Jasmine, that has brought us really beautifully up to the end of today's workshop. I just want to
Amazing.
say a sneaky hello as well to Snowsfield Adolescent Unit. I think you might be watching back on demand, so we're really looking forward to seeing your bits from this workshop.
Hey,
A
everyone.
huge thank you, Jasmine, on behalf of Hospital Rooms for such a colourful and expressive workshop today. It's been such a beautiful pace, and I think, we've all really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone. Can I just say, we obviously would love to see all the pieces that you created today, so definitely tag myself at Jasmin Sehra, and of course Hospital Rooms is _ Hospital Rooms on Instagram. So definitely tag us. We would love to share it on our feed.
There you go, Jasmine. I'm out of a job doing it better than me. Thank you, everyone that has sent through a question and let us know where you've been joining us from today. It's always lovely to have you all with us live. It's time now to launch our end of workshop poll. If you could indicate on the screen how you found the workshop today, this will really help us to improve the Digital Art School as we continue to grow and develop our terms. So I'm just going to get that onto the screen now. Hopefully you can all see that. Please just indicate how you found it today. Fantastic. Thanks so much for submitting responses, everyone. That's really, really helpful and really enables us to continue the digital art school. Fantastic. I'll just give that a few more seconds for everyone to answer. Richard, if you could please get our slideshow ready. Wonderful. Thanks so much, everyone, for answering that poll. Okay, just coming up to the last portion of our workshop today. Okay, so if you're still here with us, I'd really like to share the story of hospital rooms and how the workshop today has come about. So we are a London-based arts and mental health charity, and we transform inpatient mental health units with extraordinary art. We began the Digital Art School in response to COVID-19 lockdowns when our in-person work in mental health units was put on hold. It's been hugely important for us to build a creative community where we can join together and to feel part of something special. We are now a Webby award-winning program as well. You can find the library of our past projects and all of the previous Digital Art School workshops on our YouTube channel, where you'll find a variety of original and imaginative workshops with world-class artists, from big cat drawing to fantastical landscape, storytelling, and so many more in between. Please do have a look and subscribe to our channel. We also have a Digital Art School newsletter, which keeps you informed of upcoming workshops, the materials you'll need for them, along with any relevant downloads and links to last week's video if you missed it. You can sign up for that at hospital-rooms.com. We love when you share your artworks with us by uploading to our online gallery, and we always share your work with our artists. You can do so anonymously, or you can let us know your name and where you are. If you've created an amazing piece of typography design today, either joining us live or watching back on demand, we'd absolutely love to see them. You can upload those into our Dropbox via that page. As I mentioned earlier, this is the last workshop of this current term. We'll be taking a very short break to recalibrate and refresh, and we'll be back on the Thursday, the 16th of September for a term jam-packed with workshops. These will range from pattern design, gestural painting, leporello making, and so many more. From myself and everyone on the Hospital Rooms team, thank you all so much for joining us today, and another big thank you once again to the incredible Jasmin Sehra for leading today's exciting workshop. We'll see you all again on Thursday, 16th of September at 2 p.m. Thanks so much, everyone.